Hey YouTube, Pam, what's up? It's Patrick. It's always so good to practice with y'all on Wednesdays. Thank you so much for joining me for this session and for checking out last week's morning practice video. It was cool to see so many of y'all digging that one. In this week's creative vinyasa practice, all you're gonna need is yourself and your mat. Before we begin, go ahead and hit the like button, and after you finish, leave a comment. Let me know how it went, how some of these movements felt for you. I hope you enjoy the ride. Let's have some fun with it. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. So go ahead and stretch your hands out long in front of you. Spread your knees wide and think about your belly button sinking down towards the floor as long as your chest and your forehead, or excuse me, as well as your chest and your forehead. But thinking about length, thinking about having a longer spine, I think is maybe where my mind was there. Really breathe into your lower back. Take a moment for yourself. Take a moment for the space. Let your practice land. Let the moment kind of happen, if you will. It's always important to acknowledge where you're beginning. Not only does it help us guide the path ahead, but it helps us see the end of the line when we make it there. Know how far we've come. Appreciate the journey, appreciate our efforts, and really find a deeper connection to the space. Go ahead and take one more breath here on your own. And then as you finish, find your way up onto hands and knees. As usual, to begin, go ahead and circle the shoulders over the wrists a few times here clockwise. And after that feels good, a few times counterclockwise. Feeling your fingers grip into the floor, rooting into your thumbs. Feeling energy shift side to side. Maybe you feel energy shift forward to back a few times as well. Once your hands feel good, maybe wave your spine a time or two. Let that get involved in the equation. And then return to center. Root into your left palm. Go ahead and twist. Inhale, reach your right hand up to the sky. And on your exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left armpit, touch the floor, and then inhale, twist back up, open your chest. Exhale, twist down, right shoulder to the floor underneath left armpit. Inhale, twist, peel open. Exhale, thread underneath. This time we'll land, so right shoulder, back of right hand finds the floor. And then reach your left hand out overhead. I want you to push your left palm in the back of the right hand into the floor. And really breathe into your left side body here. Hope this feels nice. Hope it helps you loosen up just a bit. Feel a full connection to this space. Feel the different points of contact with the earth. How often is your outer right shoulder on the floor? Probably not frequently, but in this moment it is. Gently find your way back to center, bringing your left hand to the ground, bringing your right hand back to be symmetrical with the left. And let's move to side two. Inhale, twist, and reach your left arm up. On your exhale, thread left arm underneath right armpit. And then inhale, twist, and reach your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, left arm threads underneath right armpit. Inhale, twist up to the sky. Exhale, left arm threads underneath right armpit. As it lands, same thing for side two. Let the side of your head settle, your left shoulder settle, and then reach your right hand out towards the top right corner of the mat. Push the back of your left hand and your right palm into the floor. As long as your left shoulder stays grounded, you can really find a nice deep breath into your right side body. Notice how the shift in position creates a new connection to the space and to the moment. Breathe in here for just a little bit longer. Try to stay consistent with the pressure here. And then gently return yourself back to center. As you make it there, go ahead and flip your hands so the fingers point back towards your knees. And you can do this as much as is possible for you. Maybe the fingers point out to the side. It's good either way. Inhale, pull your chest out, open your heart. And then exhale, round into upper back, mid back, and lower back. Inhale, curve your chest out, open your heart. Exhale, round in. Inhale, curve out. Exhale, round in. Inhale, curve out. Exhale, round in. Inhale, find neutral. Flip your hands back into their normal positioning, and then step on back into your downward facing dog. So you found some awareness into your hips, shoulders, wrists, and spine. Now begin to feel a bit more of an awareness into your feet, into your hamstrings, waking up the body, feeling and vibing into this practice space. Feel the stretch, feel the drive, the pull, but maybe more than anything, the connection, and if you need it, the grounding, finding your heels on the floor. And the easiest way to do that is just to shorten your stance in some capacity. Either way, take a moment for center, and then inhale, wave forward into your plank pose. On your exhale, sweep back into dog, and inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, sweep back into dog. Inhale, wave forward into plank. And exhale, cruise back into dog. Inhale, wave forward into plank. And on your exhale, slowly lower all the way to the floor. Set your hands up, oscillating cobra, heavy hips, heavy feet, light chest. Inhale, rise. Breathe into your front body, breathe into your collarbones. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Last one here. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Locust pose, don't worry about height, instead focus on activation. Active glutes, squeeze your shoulders together, stretch through your fingers. Push your front hips down towards the mat. Find strength, find availability, find openness. And then exhale, let it go. Drop an ear to the floor, take a moment for yourself. Feel your heart pulsing against the ground, feel you subtly waking up into this space. Slowly bring your chin to the floor. This next moment's going to be hard, so stick with me. Place your hands just to the side of your chest. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back body. Tuck your toes, engage your lower belly. Rise to chaturanga, your low push-up position, and try to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, rise to plank. Drop knees and forearms down. Inhale, pull through upward facing dog. And exhale, wave back into downward facing dog. As you make it into downward facing dog, lift heels, bend knees. And then roll forward as if you're going towards plank. Stack the shoulders on top of the wrists. And then lower your knees to touch the ground. Retuck your toes so you feel strong connection to your hands and your feet. And then lift your knees slightly off the ground. Push into your left toes, float your right foot up. Let your right knee touch your right wrist. And then keeping your left knee as low as possible, lift your right knee up to your right tricep. Let it jot down to your left wrist, and then up to your left tricep. Down to the right wrist, up to right tricep, over to left wrist, up to left tricep. Return your right toes to the floor, lower your knees down, sit back to your heels. Stretch the bottoms of your feet. Breathe into your chest. You can reach your fingers back behind you, but there doesn't need to be too much intention there. Just take a moment, let yourself connect and settle. Bring your hands back to the floor, hands and knees. Root into your palms. The game is the same. Tuck the toes, lift the knees as slightly as possible. Left foot lifts off the ground this time. Left knee touches left wrist. Let it lift up to left tricep. Right knee tries to stay low. Left knee shoots down to right wrist, and then up to right tricep. Pull it in. Left knee shoots down to left wrist. Up to left tricep. Down to right wrist. Up to right tricep. Set your left foot back. Lower your knees to the floor. Try to spread your toes as much as you can. Sit back to your heels. Lift your chest up. Breathe into the arches of the feet. Even if this is intense, maybe your hips are a little bit further lifted, it's okay. Just be here for a moment. Let yourself settle. Collect energy as we begin to move in towards our flow. Place your hands at the top of the mat. Untuck the toes, tap the feet a few times as you need to. And then find your way back into downward facing dog. Think about that cross body reference we found a moment ago. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, right knee drives over to your left tricep, let it touch. From here, lower your right knee to the middle of your mat. Point the right foot towards the left, stacking your shin on the floor. We'll go slow this first round. Left knee crosses behind right. Sit back towards your heels, lift your hands off the floor. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky as you push your hips forward, driving through your left leg. Exhale, pull your elbows down towards your hips, open the heart, move through the shoulders. Sit your hips back towards the heels, hands come to heart center. Drive your hips forward, open your hands up towards the sky, push your left hip out in front of you. Exhale, pull your elbows down towards your hips. Sit back towards your heels, hands to heart center. Drive your hips forward, open up through your arms, fingers stretched towards the sky. Exhale, pull your elbows down, open your heart. Bring your hands back to center. Sit back to the heels. Place your palms flat on the floor. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, modified side plank. Reach your left arm up. Root into the left foot as best you can here, and then reverse your position. Sometimes people call this gate pose. It feels very similar in my body to reversing your warrior. So I hope you find a good connection here. And on your exhale, hands back to the floor. Root into your palms as you roll over your left toes and then to the outer edge of your left foot, lifting your right foot off the ground, right knee chases the sky. Your right hand can stay down or your right hand can stretch up towards the ceiling, whatever feels better to you. Try to scoop your left hip underneath you wherever you are. And then slowly step your right foot all the way back to the top of the mat, outer right corner. Keep rooted into your left hand. Right hand stays floating. Lift your left foot off the mat. Stretch it as far to the right as possible. Bend your left elbow. See how long you can keep your left foot floating as your left hip drops to the floor. Sit onto your left hip and then eventually your right. Your knees stack. Inhale, lift your chest, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift up. Place your hands on the ground. On the mat, push into your right foot, step your left foot off the mat to the outside of your left hand. Sit your hips low, active squat, a familiar position after a bunch of madness. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, sit your hips back down. Try to pull your tailbone back in space. Place your palms flat on the floor, elbows bend, your vinyasa. You've been here on the chaturanga hold, so know that you have the strength, power, and connection to be in that position. On your exhale, push your hips up and back in space, finding your downward facing dog, finding length in your body. Inhale, your left leg lifts up to the sky. On your exhale, left knee targets the right tricep. Come across body. Wonderful. Lower your left knee to the middle of the mat in between your hands. As the top of your left foot lands, the right knee stacks behind the left. Sit your hips back towards the heels as best you can. Float your hands off the ground and then push your hips forward as you essentially stand on your shins and reach your hands up towards the sky, opening your front body. Pull your elbows down towards your hips, lift your chest, and then sit back towards your heels as your hands come to heart center. Find the simple flow of this movement, make it available for you. Drive the shins forward. Reach your hands up towards the sky, open your heart. On your exhale, pull your elbows down, feel the shoulders moving down your back body. Sit to your heels, hands find heart center. Drive through the shins, push your right hip forward, active glutes. Reach your hands up to sky. Exhale, pull your elbows down towards your hips, heart stays open. Sit back towards your heels. Find a moment for your balance and then place your palms on the floor. Leaning forward, the left shin grounds, the right foot steps back in space. Open into your modified side plank. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Feel pressure in the right foot and then reverse this position. Stretching your left hand up. Breathe into your left side body here. Try to squeeze the right side body. Open up and create space. On your exhale, both hands return to the floor. Plant into your right toes and pluck your left foot off the ground. As you roll to the outer edge of your right foot, how high can you take your left knee up towards the sky? You can float your left hand if you choose. Either way, keep scooping the right hip underneath your body. Push into your right hand, really reach through your left fingers. Trust yourself to hold this space because you can. Look towards the top of the mat. Vacuum your left knee towards your left armpit and land your left foot just off the mat. Push into your left foot, lean forward, then begin to float the right foot off the ground and kick it as far to the left side as possible. Bend your right elbow to keep your chest lifted. Land your right hip at the last moment. Slowly roll over your right hip onto your left. Left knee stacks on top. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Hands find the mat. Push into your left foot. Swing your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Hips sit low. Active squat. Tailbone reaches back in space as hands stretch forward. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down. Try to take your hips behind you here. Place your palms flat on the floor, elbows bend. Find your flow. Moving through vinyasa. Play the strength of your hands, the strength of your core, and the strength of your legs, all into this fluid practice. Root into your palms, look forward, lift heels, bend knees. On the bottom of the exhale, let's float right into this active squat. This time, of course, stepping is warranted. Handstand not a requirement in the slightest. Try a few hops. Feet land outside of hands. Stretch your hands out in front of you. Embrace the moment. Exhale, straighten legs, bring the moment to you. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Find some inspiration, find the divine. On your exhale, bring that energy into you. Inhale, plant that energy into the earth, elbows bent. On your exhale, move. Find the flow, find the rhythm, find your vinyasa. As you make it back into downward facing dog, we're moving through that little crafty flow again. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, right knee finds a home on your left tricep. Let it land, root into the palms, and then lower your right knee down to the ground. As your right shin lands, the left knee follows you, create a stack. Sit your hips back to your heels. Drive forward. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Open your heart. Try to get longer through your fingers. On your exhale, pull the elbows down, squeezing them towards one another. Sit back towards the heels. Try to tilt your tailbone back in space. Place your hands on the floor. Lean forward as your right shin or knee lands. Step your left foot back behind you. Modified side plank. Left arm reaches up. Inhale, reverse the position. Right hand up towards the sky. Try to create as long of a line as possible from right knee up through your fingers. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Roll onto your left toes, your variation of side plank on the left. You eventually make it to the outer edge of the left foot. Maybe you step your right foot over and behind and push the hips towards the ceiling, breathing into your left side body. Be open and create space. On your exhale, look towards the top of the mat. On your next inhale, vacuum your right knee in towards your right armpit. Feel that movement in your body. And then land your right foot to the outside of the mat. Base into your right foot, float your left foot, and then sit your hip down towards the inside of your right ankle. Keep your left foot floating as long as you can. As it lands, roll over the left hip onto the right knee stacks. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, fold, reaching your hands out in front of you. Inhale, rise, lift your chest up. Place your palms flat on the floor. Drive into your right big toe and sweep the left foot across to the outside of the left hand. Sit your hips back, try to lift your spine. Stretch your fingers forward. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach hands up towards the sky. Exhale, sit your hips all the way down. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend, your vinyasa. Find a breath that works for you here. Move through the positions. Notice what feels right. Notice what feels awkward. Embrace the awkward as much as you embrace, the ease or the flow or the rhythm. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. On your exhale, left knee targets the right tricep. Really try to push your left femur into your rib cage. Lower your left knee to the floor, it lands. Stack the right knee behind the left. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. As you push your hips forward, get open through the front line of the body. Really stretch up. On your exhale, pull elbows down towards your hips. Sit back towards your heels. Create a moment there for balance. Place your hands flat on the floor. Lean your left knee to the ground as you step. Your right foot back in space. Modified side plank. Right arm stretches up to the sky. Hold for a moment and then inhale, lean. Up and away, your left hand chases the ceiling. Try to really push through your feet. Get open through your left side body. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Root into your palms, right toes. Push to open you into your variation of Vashistasana side plank. Wherever that is, I want you to take your right hip and push it left. It pushes left or it wheels up. Whatever feels better to you. Explore the space that's interesting. Breathe into your moment. And then on your exhale, look towards the top of the mat. Drive your left knee into your chest. Feel the connection there. And then step your left foot just to the outside of the top left corner of your mat. Kick your right foot over to the left, but try to find the float there for as long as possible, bending your right elbow so your right hip lands first. As the right hip lands, roll over. Stack your knees and find the fold. Stretching the top of the skull towards your toes. Inhale, lift your chest up. Left big toe finds the floor. As your hands plant and then sweep your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Hips sit low as your tailbone pulls back and your hands stretch forward. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your fingers towards the sky. Exhale, sit your hips back down as much as you can. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend. On your exhale, vinyasa. Moving with a sense of freedom, a sense of connection, and a sense of purpose. As you make it back to downward facing dog, we're going to focus on this hop towards the top of the mat. I'll take little hops this time because that may be something that's similar to what you are doing in this moment. Either way, the feet will make it to the outside of the hand. So if you're seeing little hops here, don't make it complicated. Just find a little hop and then your feet land to the outsides of your hands. Active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, get taller, get longer. Exhale, sit your hips down. Find a little bit more depth working through your legs. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend. Your vinyasa. Lightness every step of the way. Stepping, hopping, floating. You're finding rhythm. You're finding pace. And you're working with where you're at in the journey. One more time through the sequence. You've got this. Inhale, stretch your right leg up. Really reach through your right toe. Try to hide it from your gaze. Then on your exhale, right knee targets your left tricep. Come all the way across body. Land your right knee down on the ground. Stack your left knee behind your right. Sit your hips back towards your heels. And then drive forward. Get long through the knees. As you reach your hands up, open your heart. On your exhale, pull elbows down towards hip points. And then sit hips back towards heels, hand behind heart center. Take a moment for your balance. And then lean forward. Place your hands on the ground. Shoot your left foot to the back of the mat. Modified side plank. Left fingers stretch up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reverse your position. Right arm stretches up towards the sky. We'll call it gate pose today. On your exhale, hands towards the floor. The palms land flat. You're making your way to side plank, any variation that's interesting for you. Notice all the different areas of the body that are showing up for you in this moment. Know that you're not lingering here for long, so just be open and available to what's there right now. Wherever you are, spot the top right corner of the mat. Push into your left big toe and hug your right knee all the way into your chest. Land your right foot just to the outside of that top right corner. Lean into your left hand as you sweep your left foot over to the right side as much as possible. Let your left hip land first. Roll over the left hip, your knees stack. Inhale, lift your chest, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise, create space. Place your hands at the top of the mat, root into your right big toe, and then kick your left foot over to the outside of your left hand. Sit your hips low, lift through your spine. Try to keep your hips where they are, essentially. Exhale, straighten legs, hands, the heart center. Find balance in your feet. Inhale, reach up, search for something new. Exhale, sit your hips back down, explore a unique depth. Inhale, hands to the floor, elbows bend. Exhale, vinyasa. Breathe every moment in and out, meaning that you can control the pace and you can control the practice. While I may be guiding you through the movements, how you explore and access them is always up to you. Be part of your own exploration as you inhale, lift your left leg up. On your exhale, left knee targets your right tricep. Come across body. Let your left knee land in between your hands. Hug the right knee behind the left. Sit your hips back towards your heels. As your hands float, inhale, stretch them up towards the sky, pushing your right hip towards the top line of the mat. Try to get a little bit longer through your fingers. And then exhale, pull your elbows down towards the floor. Feel freedom in your shoulders as you sit back towards your heels. Place your hands flat on the floor. Lean into your left knee and stretch your right foot to the back of the mat. Modified Vashistasana, right hand to the ceiling. Feel lightness in your left hand. Lengthen through your left side body as you reach your left arm up towards the sky. On your exhale, hands to the floor. Your variation of side plank. Play it in a way that's interesting to you. Be an explorer of your own experience. Root into the feet, the outer edge of the foot, or the entire foot if you're opening through the spine and the shoulder. Wherever you choose to go, just own it. Be part of it. Take one more breath in this moment, and then spot the top left corner of your mat. Bring some weight into your right foot as you drive your left knee in towards your chest, rolling over your right toes and landing your left foot to the top left corner of the mat. Float your right foot off the ground and swing it as far over to the left as possible. Keep your right foot floating and then land your right hip. Roll on to your left. Inhale, elevate your chest, and exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift your heart up. Hands find the ground, middle point of the mat. Swing your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Tilt your tailbone back in space and then lift from your belly button to find active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, create space. Exhale, sit your hips down. Linger. Inhale, hands to the floor, elbows bend. On your exhale, vinyasa. Feel strong, feel powerful, feel capable. Downward facing dog. Last movement here, awakening A. Drive into your hands long from base of wrists to the tip of your tailbone. Lift heels, bend knees. Bottom of exhale, step or float feet to the outsides of your hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, straighten legs, hands to heart. Inhale, reach hands up. Exhale, sit hips down. Inhale, hands to floor, elbows bend. Exhale, vinyasa. Use your breath. Explore with your breath. Maybe it's even about taking a breath for you today. Really getting into the mindful element of your breathing practice. As you make it back into your downward facing dog, roll forward into plank pose one more time. Try to articulate the spine as much as possible. As you find plank pose, lower all the way onto your belly. Open your left arm up like a T. Take your gaze to the right, and then roll over your left hip, stepping your right foot over and behind. So subconsciously, we've moved through your shoulders a fair amount today. Now breathe into this stretch. Breathe into this space. You can adjust the legs as much as is available to you. Maybe you take your legs like bridge pose. Maybe you want to hug your right knee into the chest here. Stay rooted into your left foot. Maybe you even feel like catching your right big toe and straightening your right leg up towards the sky. Again, this is a bit ridiculous, but it's just something you could do here if you fancied it, if it was interesting to you. Wherever you find yourself, try to stay there for 4, for 3, 2, on 1 slowly. Return to center, and we're going to switch sides. So roll back to the middle, and then roll over to the right, stepping your left foot over and behind your right knee. Of course, right arm out like a T first. Adjust yourself in the position in a way that feels, good is always, the frame of reference, of course, but you do want to find some sensation here. So that sensation is always completely up to you, the intensity of it. But don't shy away from feeling. In fact, embrace feeling. Seek it a little bit, and then knowing enough is enough. That's how you modulate your practice experience. If you hug the left knee into the chest, or the right knee into the chest on the other side, you can hug the left knee into the chest here. And even catch your left big toe and stretch your left leg up towards the sky. All options. Some more about aesthetic display and focus. Some more about sensation, feeling, and tuning into the moment. Either way, just trusting and believing in yourself and knowing that you can own this space is perfect. And owning the space is acknowledging it for you. It's not owning the pose and doing it to some perfect rendition of ridiculousness, slowly twist back to center. It's just acknowledging your current capacity in the space. As you find center, bring your forearms out in front of you. Rest your forehead there and take a moment to just be neutral. In so much of our practice today, we've really been everywhere, working through the hips, working through the shoulders, spine, wrists, feet. And you can feel that here. So as you find this particular position, you've laid on your belly so many times in your life, and you most likely haven't done many of the other things too frequently. So how does this feel in relation to other times you've been here? This is the mindfulness, this is the inquisitive nature that comes with our journey. Tuning in. Organize your hands for oscillating Cobra pose. Feel your fingers rooted, feel your shoulders on the back and your spine long. Feet heavy. Inhale, rise away from the floor. Open your heart. And exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Your version of locust pose or bow pose. For bow pose today, if you want to catch your inner ankles, I would recommend it. When you find the feet, or when you get your mind ready to activate, use your inhale to lift, to kick, to rise, to elevate. Really opening the front line of your body. Find a drive, find an energy. Find a place to take your eyes. Lock in there, and then breathe there for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let it go on 1. Allow yourself to lay flat. Let your body be centered. Feel your efforts. Just waving through you from top of skull to tip of toes and everywhere in between. Feel the back and forth of that currency flowing through you. And when you're ready, push back into your child's pose. Take yourself up and back in space. Sitting into your child's. Take a moment to breathe there. And then when you feel ready, find a simple seat and close your eyes softly. Feel breath moving through you with ease. Try to imagine your breath here. Really take note of how you're sitting. Where are your ears? Where are your collarbones? How are your hips helping this position? Can you find a verticality here? An up and down, an organization of yourself that allows the breath to be a little bit easier. What I mean by that is try to lean back. Notice the breath. Try to lean forward. Notice the breath. Find the middle. Allow a natural expansiveness. And really embody the breath. Let it nourish you. Let this practice, and really every practice, just remind you of the relevance of breathing, the importance of taking, 2 minutes or 2 hours to focus on your inhales, your pauses, and your exhales, shifting the natural cadence out of 14 to 15 breaths a minute and somewhere into 3 to 4. Conscious breathing can change your mood, can shift your energy, can help you find focus, find awareness, and really be mindful of the space that you're in. Let's take a few breaths together today to close. Exhale, clear your system out completely. Go ahead and inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, or exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep this breath going or move back into your natural rhythm. Either way, feel free to sit upright or lay on your back. If there's a wall next to you, maybe that helps guide you a little bit deeper into this moment because you're finding support. You can also fold back down into the child's pose, where we started and where you were just a moment ago. Take your time to be here. Enjoy the space. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy the time you take to dedicate to yourself for your own self-care. Finding empathy for your own being leads to empathy for others. As you leave this space, leave with kindness, leave with peace, and leave with love. As always, y'all, it's such a pleasure to share space with you here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being part of my practice and part of sharing this journey. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.